Hello students, let's try this question. We have to find the values of x that satisfies this inequation. For this, we will equate each factor to 0 to find critical points. So when x is equal to 0, then x is equal to 0. When 2x minus 1 equal to 0, then x is equal to 1 by 2. When 3x plus 4 equal to 0, then x is equal to minus 4 by 3. And when 1 minus x is equal to 0, x is equal to 1. These are critical points. Let's plot this point on number line. At first we will get minus 4 by 3, then we will get 0, then we will get 1 by 2, and at last we will have here 1. Now we will find the sign scheme of this term for different values of x. When x is greater than 1, suppose I take x is equal to 2, so we will have here replacing x by 2, we will get sign of x as positive. Sign of 2x minus 1 replacing x by 2, we will get here 2 into 2, 4 minus 1, 3, which is positive, so it is multiplied by positive sign. Then here also we will get positive sign multiplied by positive divided by, and in denominator we will have a negative sign. So multiplication and division of all these signs will give negative sign. So for x greater than 1, we have expression of negative sign, and then the sign will change alternatively. We will have here a positive sign, then we will have here minus sign, then we have plus sign, then minus. So we have got the sign scheme of this expression. But demand of question is we have to get such values of x for which this term is going to be positive or equal to 0. So let's find when this expression going to be 0. It is going to be 0 at x equal to 0, at x equal to 1 by 2, and at x equal to minus 4 by 3. So we need such values. So required values of x is minus 4 by 3. So at the bottom of minus 4 by 3 we take filled circle, and also we want x equal to 0, so here we will have filled circle, and also we want 1 by 2, so we will also here have filled circle. Now let's see when this expression going to be positive for different values of x. It is positive in between minus 4 by 3 and 0, and also in between 1 by 2 and 1. So we have to take such values of x, so we will do here thick line, and also here thick, but we don't need 1, so at 1 we will have empty circle. Okay, these are required values of x. So solution of this inequation is x belongs to close interval minus 4 by 3 to 0 union, and we have take the value of x as 1 by 2. So at x equal to 1 by 2 we will have here close bracket, and at 1 we will have a round bracket. This is the required answer. Let's try this question. For this question we will try to understand the trick that is applicable for easy solving and for quick solving. Okay, see, first of all we will find all the critical points for this expression. So critical points are 1 by 2, 2 and 3. We will plot all these critical points on number line. So we will have here first 1 by 2, then we will have 2, then we will have here 3. So let's try to understand the shortcut that we can use in solving this inequation. First of all, we will check the sign of x in all the brackets. We find here that in first bracket 2x is positive, x is also positive, and here in denominator x is again positive. In such case, when we find all the sign of x as positive, then first sign that we have to take as positive. Also, we have to see the power of each factor. Whenever the power of factor is odd number, then sign will change, and whenever there is power as even number, then sign will not change. So we find that x at x equal to 3, we obtain the value of x from this factor, and power of this factor is 1, which is odd. That means sign will change. So from plus it will become here minus, and we have got 2 from this factor, and sign of this factor is 1, which is again odd, so sign will change. We will here plus sign. Then we have x is equal to 1 by 2. We obtain this value from this factor, and power of this factor is again odd, so again sign will change. So here we will have minus. Okay, this is how we will find the sign scheme of this expression. Okay, now let's see what question demands. Question demands that the expression should be positive or equal to 0. We find that this expression is 0 at x is equal to 1 by 2 and at x equal to 2. So at x equal to 1 by 2, we will draw filled circle, and at x equal to 2, we will also draw filled circle. Also, we have to take such x for which this expression is going to be positive, and such x we have in between 1 by 2 and greater than 3. So we will draw here a thick line connecting 1 by 2 and 2, and at x equal to 3, we will draw here empty circle, and we will draw a thick line that will approach to infinity. So required answer is x belongs to square bracket 1 by 2 comma 2 square bracket close union round bracket 3 comma infinity. Okay, students, let's try this question. We have to solve this inequation. First of all, we will find the critical points. So critical points are 3 by 2, then 4, then 5 by 3. We will plot all these critical points on number line. At first we will have here we have 3 by 2 and 5 by 3. At first we will have 3 by 2, then we will have 5 by 3, then we will have here 4. Okay, so let's start. We find that in all the brackets x are positive, so sign must will start from positive sign. Then this 4 comes from this bracket whose power is odd, so sign will change. We will here a minus sign. Then we have 5 by 3, and 5 by 3 comes from this bracket whose power is 4, and 4 is even, so sign will not change. Here we will have minus sign. Then we have 3 by 2, and 3 by 2 comes from this bracket whose power is again even, so again sign will not change, so we will have here minus sign. Okay, now we have to find those x for which this expression is going to be positive or equal to 0. First, let's find when it is going to be 0. It is going to be 0 at 3 by 2 and 4. So let's draw filled circle below 3 by 2 and 4. Okay, now also we have to take the such x for which this expression is going to be positive, and such positive values we find when x is greater than 4. So we will draw here thick line that will approach to plus infinity. So this is the required answer. So answer is x belongs to. From here we have to take only 3 by 2. So we will write 3 by 2 in curly bracket. This curly bracket indicates that 3 by 2 is only a possible value that is going to be taken by x. And also we have to take this interval that is starting from 4 and approaching to infinity. So we'll write here square bracket 4 comma infinity round bracket close. Now students, let's try this question. We have to find the values of x that will satisfy this inequation. For this we have to find critical points. So we will equate each factor to 0 to get the critical points. So we will get critical points as 5, then minus 2, then 6. We will plot all these critical points on number line. That will start from minus 2, then we will have here 5, then at last we will have here 6. Now we have to now we have to find the sign scheme of this inequation. See, here we have minus x, here we have x, and here we have x. X are positive, but here x is negative, whose power is 3, which is odd. So sign will start with negative sign. We can also check this. Suppose at x equal to 7, we will have here negative sign. Here we have even power. So for any x, it is going to be positive, and for any x here also it is going to be positive. Okay. So here we will have a negative sign. Here we have 6, and this 6 is coming from this factor whose power is even. That means sign will not change. Here we have minus, again we will have here minus, and this 5 is coming from this factor whose power is odd. That means sign will change. From minus it will become plus, and here we have minus 2, which is coming from this factor whose power is even. So we will have here sign minus. So we have to take such x for which this expression is going to be 0 or positive. So it is 0 at x equal to 5 and x at x equal to minus 2. So we will draw a filled circle below minus 2 and below 5. Also we have to take such x for which this expression is going to be positive. Such x are between minus 2 and 5. So we will have a thick line. So required answer is x belongs to. Here we will have a square bracket for minus 2, because we have to take minus 2 in value of x comma 5, and also we will have here square bracket close. This is the final answer. Thank you.